snowflakes in the sky. You were singing while we drive. I remember cold nights, shimmering snow under my feet, making castles so wide, never felt so alive. I remember, where did all the time go? Am I getting too old? I remember. How's it going, everyone? Happy Friday night. In Berlin, it's 6:30. I wanted to jump on and talk about Spotify Stream On because recently they just had a big announcement, actually 8 new announcement features that they're going to launch in their platform, and I wanted to just jump on and talk about that and give you an update on the campaign I was doing for the song Goodbye, and also just feel free to jump in the chat and ask questions. Let's try to get the questions this time focused around music marketing, and I'd say anything general music marketing. Next Monday we're going to get back into music production, so let's save any music production logic questions for Monday, unless there's some time at the end of this video we can get into stuff. So welcome to anyone that's new that's joining this video, and if you're watching it later after not live, then I do music production live sessions on Monday and music marketing live sessions on Friday, so 2 times a week. So trying to get you to write the best songs from songwriting from scratch to producing the music. I produce in Logic and work in Logic, so a lot of Logic-based tutorials, but music production tutorials as well. And then on Friday, how do we get this music heard and how do we market this music? So that's what this is about. So let us know where, I keep saying us and we, let me know where you're from and where you're tuning in from. I'm always wondering what the best time is. So hey, Fury List, thanks for joining in. Siri just woke up when I said your name, Fury List. It sounds, I guess, kind of like Siri. This is the second time this has happened to me on this live stream. Siri's got to know her name a bit better. Yeah, what time is it and where are you tuning in from? Because I think, I don't know if I should be doing these later or not. It's 6:30 on a Friday, and I'm not sure if everyone's super interested to learn, do a live session kind of tutorial. I love you, Logic Help Vids. Thanks, Orange Sky Productions. That's awesome. I really appreciate the kind words. Lots more Logic Pro X tutorial videos to come, and there's a lot on the channel as well. I do have one playlist that's it's called the One Stop Shop for Logic, and I think there's over 60 videos now, and a lot of how-tos, different tutorials. So that's a good reference point. Manchester. It's 5:35. Okay. Oh, Manchester. Manchester, maybe? It's 5:35. Okay, so you're an hour behind. So that's a good question, Furyless. This is a song. I don't want to talk about my songs in this video. I do want to get onto the Spotify stuff, but I was doing a campaign for this song Goodbye, and I had a goal to get 100,000 streams in the first month, and it's been a month. Today would be a month, so I'm short 77,000 streams. So I may have been too aggressive on the goal. I do think Goodbye will reach 100,000 in 2 months. Maybe a month was too aggressive, but I think you should set really tough goals because, the saying shoot for the stars. The worst thing that can happen is you'll land. Or no, I said that wrong. Shoot for the moon, and then the worst thing that can happen is you land among the stars. Or something. That's what it's from. I think that's what it's something like that. You're from India. Okay, cool. 11 p.m. No, I guess that would be 11 a.m., right? In the morning. Yeah. Because that would be... So, good morning to you. Oh, you're in the future, technically, Fury List. Time is a very weird concept. You are in a new day. We are in the old day. Right? What day is it? It's February 26th. February 27th for you. That is weird to think about. I think I'm going to watch Interstellar tonight after thinking about that. It's a good movie. Okay, Spotify announced these super cool features. I mean, they're not that cool, I guess, but there are some good ones that I want to take note if you're looking to market your music. There was like they did this huge kind of announcement / conference thingy. And so one of the ones was like they're going to bring Spotify to 80 new countries or 80 new markets, and they have to like areas, I guess. So this happens to be like more than 1 billion people. That's not really interesting unless you like, great for them, right? They're going to take over the world probably in streaming. They're going to add new languages, which is great. This is really great if you're in a country and that doesn't have Spotify, or you're in a country or your Spotify doesn't have your language yet. So they're going to take care of that this year. Yeah, winner is a dreamer who never gave up. That's a good, full of good little tidbits there, Fury List. Okay, so I'm from Canada actually, but I live in Berlin right now. And Elton, how will you change your marketing approach to better reach your goal? Good question. So I think to be honest, it's a good question. I would have to do more aggressive work to get on Spotify playlists. I think in hindsight, like I could have done more pre-release work to get on Spotify playlists. Like in the last week, I've gotten on a lot more playlists because it's been within that 4 weeks I've been working a lot. But if I did a lot of pre-release work, then I know on day one it would have been added to a lot. That's why I'm saying I think it will get to 100,000 streams in 2 months, because I need more time to let those streams grow. But in the first 2 weeks of the release, it was really slow because I was just working that week to get on playlists. So the first 2 weeks was really just me trying to get on playlists. So to answer your question, like doing more pre-release work, I think can really help you if you want streams right away. You don't have to do the pre-release work, but you just got to do it at some time. So if you can do it post-release, it's just going to take a bit longer to get streams. And this is what happened to me on this song with Goodbye. Well, thanks for the positivity there, Fury List. I appreciate that. Thanks for all the positive vibes and positive vibes. So the other big thing was they are expanding Marquee, which is pretty much like paid ads, I think. It's not, I don't have it available, and you can go here and request, like this is a kind of tells you how to use it. I love how they give Justin Bieber as an example of like someone who used it as he needs more fans, right? Or like he needs help getting fans. Like it's just a funny, it's like use someone else. Like he doesn't need a product to get more fans. I'm trying to find the link for you to request it somewhere here. I was reading this earlier. I guess they really don't want you to sign up, but here it is. So this is a link. It's spotifyforartists.typeform.com. You can look at that URL. If you want access to this, you can sign up with this form. But basically, you can run ads. If you get accepted, you can then run paid ads. I believe that's what it is, to try to get more fans, which is really helpful. Much like if you're going to spend money on Facebook and Instagram, I would not do that anymore and try to spend money right on Spotify, because it's right within the platform. That's going to actually take a lot of business away from Spotify, or from Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. TikTok, you've been hearing many people using TikTok to try and catch fire. Yeah, TikTok is very valuable with organic reach. Still, it has a lot of organic reach. You can post your first video and you can get 100,000 views. It's not that hard. I know that's crazy to say, but it's really, you can do that. Like it's kind of like YouTube in 2007, 2008, where like people would go viral pretty quickly because there was so much organic reach. It wasn't saturated with people or ads. So TikTok isn't there yet. It probably will be, maybe in a few years, unless they figure out a way to make money. But sometimes they're gonna have to run ads, and that's gonna take away the organic reach. Just like, remember Instagram, there was so much organic reach, and now it's like every second thing you see is an ad. They're making lots of money, but there's no organic reach on Instagram anymore. So I have a good YouTube video about that, why you should be not thinking about Instagram to get reach, to get more fans. You can't get more fans on Instagram anymore. Okay, sure, like you can do hashtags and geotagging, and you should have an Instagram account. It's good to have that one-on-one basis, but it's lower in the funnel. Reels, I guess, technically has some reach, but I'm digressing. I need to get back on track here. That video is actually, I'm editing that video right now, so it's not out yet. Stay tuned. If you're watching this in the future, it might already be out. I know it might be a stupid question, but how do you put music on Spotify or Apple Music as I make beats? Okay, that's a super different question, but we are talking about Spotify. So I'll answer that quickly. You use a music distributor, and to get your music here on Spotify and to get this blue check mark, you need to use a music distributor, something like DistroKid or TuneCore. Actually, I do have a link in the description if you want. There's a discount link there. But you just need to use any distributor, and they will upload your music to Spotify. They're the middleman. Unfortunately, you can't just go to Spotify and upload. Who knows? That could change in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if Spotify in a few years allows you to directly upload to Spotify, because they're going to want that money, right? We currently pay DistroKid, we pay TuneCore, but Spotify is taking over the world of streaming, and they're like pretty competitive when it comes to that, and I guarantee they're going to want a piece of that pie. The next thing is discovery mode that they released, which is actually lets you prioritize your own songs with inside Spotify's algorithm. But basically, if you have, like right now, Spotify just looks at all your songs and does their own prioritization. But with this thing, you can be like, this is my number one song. I want you to treat it as the number one song when the algorithm is growing through your profile. Hey, Heavy Soul, nice to have you back in the channel. And those just joining in, we're kind of debriefing about the stream on, what you need to know, and also, yeah, just ask any questions about music marketing, releasing music. This is the theme of this Friday live session. Music Monday. On Monday, we'll get back into music production, songwriting. Heavy Soul, yeah, I am still solving Rubik's cubes. That's fine. Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time, but I still can do the cube. Yeah, Furyless, if you just put your song in the comments, we can take a listen to it after. And as a business, do you have to focus on quality over quantity? I would say for that, you'd have to, it really, I think, depends where you are in your business. If you're just beginning, I would focus on quantity over quality so you can do more to get better. If you first focus on quality, you won't have enough. You won't be able to do enough to learn enough. And the only way to learn is to do stuff. So you need to do a lot of stuff to learn, and then with that comes quality, and you'll get better. For example, if you're trying to really good at producing or making beats or writing songs, you have to just focus on quantity over quality and make like hundreds of songs, and then you're going to get really good because you've made a lot. And then you can focus on quality, and quality will come naturally anyways because you're focusing on quantity. So it's first do quantity and then do quality. Oh, thanks, Sebastian. Thanks for those super kind words. I'm really glad you came across the channel and found it here. I'm really happy to have you here. So I hope you can, once you just got Logic Pro, so that's cool. Let me know in the comments if you need help with that. We meet on Mondays to talk about production and Logic, so you can come on any Monday with questions. And then Friday we talk about music marketing and how to get the music we're making, how do we get that heard. Okay, so Canvas for all. The number 5 on Spotify is, I mean, you may have heard of Canvases. This is like your kind of 20-second music video on your mobile when your song is being played. So this is not really new, but now it's for all. I didn't even know they were like that was a thing. I thought that was already out, so not big news. Upgrading our radar. This one not really big. I mean, Spotify claims that they support and we've elevated 175 up and coming artists from around the world. This is just super vague, and I don't really know what this means. And there's no link to telling us more about it. So this is kind of just like I think we need more to talk about. So let's put this in here because I know of like the Radar playlist, but I don't know of anything else of them supporting up and coming artists around the world. And I don't really know what that means, up and coming. Does that mean like they're like independent? Does that mean they're poor? Does that mean they're just starting out? Like, what does that mean? Clips put artists in the spotlight. Oh, this is pretty wild. I mean, it's pretty much like Instagram stories. It's like a story thing again, but they're saying that you can have it on playlists. So you can debut even more Spotify playlists. So you can have short videos and put like personal stamps on a playlist experience. Okay, so that's kind of cool. You can see that Spotify is moving into the direction of like they're trying to become a social platform as well, which is just another thing indie artists like we have to figure out. Okay, now we have to not only do we have to do like Instagram stories and stuff, but we have to do Spotify stories and things like that. So it's a question of like, it's good to focus. If you're an artist and you're watching this right now, like for me, I get really distracted with all these new social platforms, and it can be good to try all them out. Absolutely. But you can't just be bouncing around to each social platform without sticking to one. You need to find a medium where you can stick to, and always be trying things, sure, but you eventually need to stick with something. So if this Spotify comes out with clips, like you go and try it, but don't like stop doing Instagram stories or don't stop doing TikTok and stuff. You have to keep doing. You can't just keep bouncing around. So like, sure, this thing is going to happen, but you know, it might not last. Yeah, Elton, when you distribute your music to streaming services, I mean, I would distribute as much music as you can. Yeah, I would just also distribute to every streaming service unless you have some personal issue with one of them. Hi-fi isn't the new, which is awesome, especially if you're really into audio. Hi-fi is like basically what Tidal has, and right now Spotify doesn't have that higher bit rate or something. I'm not really exactly sure the terminology, but they do like limit and compress the sound, and now they're going to give it a bit higher quality audio. But if you don't listen to a lot of music, or if you don't know audio very well, you won't notice a difference. This is just for people who are like obsessed with audio. Will hear a difference, but most of the population, I would say like 95% of people won't ever hear the difference. So that was like great for people, for that 5%. Okay, that's what they did, right? And that's really cool. I mean, Spotify is taking over the world in a way. We are almost like we have to figure out how to excel on this platform, but also trying to find ways to build an audience that doesn't rely on Spotify as well. So for me, I also try to get on Apple Music playlists, and I try to focus on getting on Deezer playlists and Tidal playlists as well. It's very easy to be, there's like this thing called the shiny ball syndrome, where there's this shiny ball and it's so shiny that that's all you can look at. And then if the shiny ball goes away one day, like you have nothing else. So Spotify is like this shiny ball where every artist is really focused on Spotify, trying to get on playlists and putting all their energy into Spotify. And like, what if Spotify tanks? It won't, probably not. But then if it does, like, you're screwed if you put all your eggs in one basket. And also, it's just a good practice to diversify your audience across different streaming platforms and build your own audience offline, somewhere else where you can control it. And a way to do that is on email. Like, if you can control the audience, like you can control that medium, that's when you have more power to monetize things, actually, really, at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, like, we're trying to find an audience and build an audience to end up monetizing it. Like, I know it doesn't sound right, but like, we need to make money, right? So you got to find a way to build the audience and then monetize. Cool. What kind of questions do you guys have? Because I still got some time, and happy to take some questions. My pleasure. My pleasure about the GarageBand. I love doing GarageBand tutorials. GarageBand is like the little sibling to Logic, but still a feisty sibling. Has lots of benefits. That's awesome. Thanks. Where'd all the time go? Sundays used to move slow. Yeah, that's a really nice lyric. I like that lyric. That's a lyric to my song. Anyone listening in the chat to this song, actually, called Goodbye. Sundays used to move slow. Let's hear that. I think it's right here. Look at me now. I'm down here. I never knew how hard it gets. Friends can let you down. I wish you were around. I remember. Where did all the time go? It's right here. Sundays used to move slow. Sundays used to move slow. Cool line. I wrote that song with another songwriter. His name's James Bryan. He's in Canada. So cheers to James, who wrote that song with me. Bro, I want that cap. Yeah, you can totally get one too. It's the New York Yankees. I actually really like New York. I'm Canadian. I'm wearing a hat from New York, but yeah, super comfortable hat. Yeah, Tony, getting it on Spotify editorial playlists. The number like the low hanging fruit in that one is to use the pitch tool in Spotify for Artists. So let's see here. If you go to, yeah, I think, let's just see. I'll show you. Okay. So under music, there's this upcoming section. And if you go here, when you have distributed your song, you might know this, so I'll make it quick. There, you'll have your upcoming song here because at this point you've distributed it to DistroKid or TuneCore or wherever, CD Baby. It's going to be here, and then you use this tool to pitch to the editors. That's the low hanging fruit. It's free. It's easy to do. Does it work? Not really. There are 40,000 songs that are submitted to Spotify every single day. So it is humanly impossible for them to keep up with that volume. So there's likely some type of algorithm behind that even prioritizes those songs. So, but do it anyways, right? Like, it's, if someone gave you a free lottery ticket, like, why not? So do the lottery ticket here. Then, okay, to get on editorial playlists, super hard, and there's not a lot of insight, but it is based off the algorithm. So if you're making a buzz around your music, you're gonna tip the algorithm, and you're gonna get put on these algorithmic playlists that will help you get on these Spotify playlists. So the algorithmic playlists are like the Discover Weekly playlist. And so if you can make some noise with that, then it's going to funnel into the curators, and then they're going to look at it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Like, Spotify is not really listening to all the music coming in, so they're using the algorithms to filter by, like, okay, how many streams does this have? How many people are skipping this song? How many people listen to the full thing? How many hearts does this song have? How many playlists is this song added to? All the data points around a song, and then the curator comes to work that day, and the algorithm's giving them a nice prioritized list of songs to listen to. They listen to the songs, and they have their own subjective opinion on what they like, and they put what their own subjective opinion is on the songs in the playlist. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm not a genius, but it was made by humans, right? Like, they have to do it somehow, and I would think that would be an educated guess on how that works. But, KK, to get back to your question, so how do you do all that? You got to make buzz around your music. How do you do that? You got to get a lot of streams and a lot of saves and get people excited about it. And how do you do that? You need to find channels that have organic reach to funnel traffic in. So, like TikTok, someone mentioned, I think Elton mentioned in the chat, like, TikTok is a really good way to find some virality with like low effort. Your first TikTok video can have 100,000 views. Thanks, Sebastian. Thanks so much for all that kind feedback. Really appreciate that. Happy to have you around. And thank you for subscribing. Do you think it's sustainable for being a full-time artist from your experience? I think it definitely is. I definitely think the ways to sustain yourself as an indie musician in today's world are very different than what it was to be a musician in the early 2000s, let's say. Now, arguably, it's easier but you need to think of that in a totally different frame of mind. If you're going in the frame of mind from the early 2000s, then it's hard. It's really hard to be an indie musician because you're trying to sell CDs, you're trying to tour, and you're trying to yeah, I guess CDs and tour, and like you're trying to build a fan base yourself. Like that's how you did it in the early 2000s. Get on the radio, like pretty traditional stuff. But now the frame of mind of music, it's sadly like, unfortunately, it's just music is a commodity. Like people, there's just too much music being made. And I think if you want to sustain yourself as an indie musician, that means you have to find ways to make money. You have to find revenue channels, and that could be really easy actually in today's world because music is a commodity. There's so much being made. You can just make a ton of music. It's so easy to make, and you can sell that music. You can give it away. You can give it away for free downloads, and then set up a funnel that eventually charges people for like higher quality audio files. Or you could sell beats, or you could sell loops, or you could sell vocal loops if you don't play an instrument. You can start a YouTube channel and teach people music like what I do. And there's so many ways. It's pretty much like the internet. There's so many ways to make money on the internet nowadays. So you have to, if you're going to go down the path of trying to sustain yourself as an indie musician, you do have to have a peace of mind that is framed, that you need to find different layers and revenue channels, and not only rely on like making an album a year and hoping to make money on that, because streaming won't pay the bills. You can't make money on streaming, like period. You unless you have millions and millions of streams. But if you have millions and millions of streams, then you're making lots of money. So it's like no money or like a lot of money. And there's really not a lot of like middle ground where it's like someone's like making enough just to sustain themselves on streaming. That was a bit of a long-winded answer, but I think there are some good tidbits of information in there. Guys, that was fun. Tony, thanks for joining in. Elton, thanks for the questions. And Sebastian, thanks for all the kind words. Heavy Soul, thanks for dropping in the lyrics. And Fearless, have a wonderful lunch in India. It's pretty much like lunchtime there now. So I'm going to wrap it up like this. Tune in next Monday. We're going to do a music production live session. So I haven't decided what we will do. It can be Q&A based around the end of the video too, like this. So come with your music production questions, come with your Logic questions, like set up your DAW with me in the session and just ask me, and I'll like straight up give you the answers if I know them and if I can help. And then so if you're wondering what to do and you're kind of driving yourself crazy, if you're going to make a song this weekend, come with questions and let's figure it out. Okay. Have a good night, guys.